Evening. I'd like to call the Thursday, November 13th, 2025, regular Nottoway County School Board meeting to order. We will have a moment of silence followed by prayer if you choose to pray with us. And then we will be privileged to have the honor guard bring in the colors.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight. We thank you for this day and for this moment in time. We thank you tonight for our school board. Thank you for our superintendent, our clerk. Thank you for the members of the media. Thank you for the citizens, the students, the staff, the principals, the ROTC that are here tonight. Thank you for our student liaison. We thank you for your mercy, for your wisdom, for your grace. Thank you that you continue to allow us to live in a free country where we can make decisions and do the best that we can for our students. We thank you for all that you've done and what you have promised in your word that you will continue to do. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Present. Colors.
Be so kind as to say the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Carry. Colors. Right turn. March.
We have a motion to approve the agenda.
So I motion that we approve the agenda with one amendment. I request that we add board member conduct to the open agenda session.
We have a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Awards and recognition. School highlights, Dr. Martin.
So, good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Our school highlights this evening are coming from Crew Primary School. They are going to be showcasing the implementation of structured literacy, and they're actually going to be leading a lesson for you this evening. So, Mr. Page, I will turn it over to you and your kiddos.
We will. So, thank you, Dr. Martin. Thank you, school board. We typically do something that's real fun and exciting, but you can watch that on Facebook. We do a lot of good learning here, so that's what we're going to try today. Can't promise it's going to work. They're a little out there environment, but it's going to be funny. And they're cute, so it's going to be funny. We wanted to showcase some of the instructional pieces that we do. We do have the third highest scores in Region 8 because we have fun and because we do stuff like this with instructional. So the structured literacy is designed for kindergarten, first and second grade. This is a first grade class, Miss Badger's class. She has, I think, 7 students. And we asked some of the second graders to do it too, but they don't want to come out of retirement. So it's going to be just all first graders. So if you don't mind, can we kick you out of the way so we can set off? If you don't mind. Thank you. Thank you. You guys come on in. Thank you. Miss Badger, you come on in.
Oh, boy.
And this is Ellie. She's a 6th grader helping out. Miss Badger's daughter. Can I say your name? Say hi. Say it to everybody else. Okay, this is Prince.
Prince?
Say hi. Tanner. Tanner. Christian, what's your name? Christian.
Christian?
Okay, India, say hi. Say, look at them and say hi, India. JC, you want to say hi?
Hi.
Tanai, say hi.
Hi, tonight.
So we're just going to watch this board up here, okay? So everybody turn to face the
So you're
screen.
facing this way, please, guys? Okay, should I have
Yeah, podium.
one of the big questions we keep getting asked over and over again is like, where's the spelling list from parents? So this is where we get the spelling words. So this is how we practice that skill instead of sending rote memorization words home. So, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, do I have your good, strong listening ears on today? Yes. Okay, where do boards go first?
Up in our left.
Set them down where at? Okay. Ellie, would you like to be an honorary first grader today?
Yes.
Sure, here you go.
Honorary first grader.
All right, so we've got our good, strong listening ears on. Let's get practicing with some warm-ups that we have already done. We've practiced these, we know them. We're going to start with, it does work, yay. We're going to start with, let's see, blending some onset and rhymes. So, repeat these sounds with me. Blank.
Blank.
What is it?
Blank.
Okay, say, let's do this one. Ing.
Ing.
What is it?
Ing.
Good job. How about, if I can find it, in.
Then.
How did you know I didn't say a sound?
Because you put your tongue on your teeth.
On my teeth, so we know that's a TH, right? Okay. Let's keep on moving along. So let's try this one. We're moving this fast, guys. Got your eyeballs on that board? I would like for you to read the graphemes you see. You ready? Here we go. Or, good.
Wah. Wah.
We are going to blend some of these words. These are words that we have practiced already. Follow the arrow and please say the sounds as we go. Please don't leave them out. All right, ready?
Sling.
Good job.
Sing. Block. Flush.
Nice.
Stack.
Good job.
Drink.
Nice. Drink. I heard you change that sound a little bit. We have been practicing with open and closed syllables as our skill this week. Remember, a syllable is a word chunk with one vowel sound. A closed syllable has one vowel letter that makes a short vowel sound. And an open syllable has a vowel that's not followed or closed up. So that open vowel can get away and say what? The long sound, right? So like with this one.
Robot.
Good.
Robot.
Nice. The first syllable, row, we see that open syllable. The second syllable, bot, we see B-O-T. We see the closed short vowel syllable, right? Okay. You ready to try this skill now?
Yes.
Okay, let's do a read. Blend it all.
Robot. Robot.
Nice.
Human. Program.
These are first graders, y'all.
Begin. Open. Protest.
Good job.
30-second dance party.
We also have written portions. We're doing sounds, but in the interest of time and everybody today, I think we're going to move beyond that bit.
All right,
So
you guys
thank
ready?
you so very much.
Thank you, parents, for coming. Thank you for bringing them. You guys ready?
Yeah, go ahead and grab your pillow. Thank you, guys.
Because I'm an honorary first grader.
Come on now. Thank you, Ellie. Come on, Tanner. That's a lot of pillows there, Tanner. Oh, yes.
Yes.
They took our papers.
That might be tough to beat, but our JOTC program highlights, Dr. Martin.
Yes, they have a lot to live up to now, but I'm sure they're going to do an excellent job following the first graders. I am excited this evening to have our high schools and JRTC program share about their reestablishment of the program. We kind of went through a period there where it was not fully functional, and I can tell you that through the dedication of Senior Chief Parent and Chief Lynn, they have worked tirelessly to ensure that we have an active program and that it's successful. They're doing great things, so I wanted them to highlight some of those successes that they have this evening.
All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Chief Lynn. I'm a retired hospital corpsman. I'm going to apologize now. I can't stand at the podium. Cadets do a brief, and beat them up about standing in one single place. Being able to move around the room and know the information that's on your slides, okay? So if we could go to the next slide, the first slide. Basically, this is the mission of ROTC. In a nutshell, with all of these words, we're trying to make them the best version of themselves and the best citizens that they can be, okay? What do you call it? We are not, if you go to the page right after, I'm gonna kind of blend them together a little bit. We are not boot camp, okay? We are not a place for students who cannot control their behavior. We are not here to deal with that, okay? Basically, what we're here to do is we take kids who have a plan, who either want to be in the military, they want to go to college and are seeking military scholarships, they want to be involved in the community, they want to learn about leadership. Whatever it is that they want to do, that's what we're here to help them do, okay? You'll see also on here, we are not military recruitment. If you ask any one of our cadets, they'll tell you Chief Lynn doesn't care what you do when you graduate high school. The only requirement is that you have a plan that's not spending the next 25 years in your mama's basement playing video games.
Exactly.
And I stand by that. If there's a non-ROTC student who's interested in joining the military, I'll be more than happy to talk to them. But trying to recruit my cadets, that doesn't happen, okay? So Soon Chief Parent's going to take over from here real quick.
So good evening, thank you for this opportunity. So this year, our numbers are looking better. Right now, we're sitting at 54 cadets, which is about 11% of the total student body for the high school. Last year, we closed the year out with 36 cadets. So again, we saw improvement there. We have dropped about 9 students thus far throughout the school year. Some of that was conflicts with scheduling. Some are just, they're not adhering to the standards that are put forth through the program. The breakdown, as you can see, we have more females than males. We have 31 females, 23 males. Of the different levels, being Naval Science 1 through 4. The bulk of our cadets right now are NS1s. And of the NS1s, 22 of them are 8th graders. So the 8th graders are saving the program right now because in the past, we've needed 10% of the student body or 100. The Navy has changed that, it's 50. So right now, the magic number is 50, which we're meeting. So we were on probation. We are no longer on probation as of this year. All right. However, if we decrease in numbers, we go back on probation. All right. So that's kind of the breakdown. Right now, the 8th grade is pretty much saving this program, all right, which is a good thing. As I mentioned, the curriculum. So the curriculum is produced by Naval Service Training Command, which is headquarters is in Great Lakes, Illinois. They have a curriculum board that reviews the curriculum yearly, and in fact, this year we have updated Naval Science 2 and 3 curriculum. So, as I mentioned, it's broken down in Naval Science 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 and 4 are unique in that only first-year students can go into Naval Science 1, and fourth-year students need to be in Naval Science 4. 2 and 3, we can play around a little bit. So we can mix Naval Science 2 cadets with Naval Science 3. The curriculums are different, however, so I teach Naval Science 2 and 3, Chief teaches 1 and 4. So what I do is I take some material from the NS2 and the NS3 curriculum, kind of just combine them. That way the students aren't getting the same material if they were NS2s that they got last year. So that's pretty much the breakdown of the curriculum. In the curriculum, if you go back just really quick, the NS1s, they're learning what it means to be an NJROTC. The first part of the year, Chief spends a lot of time on how to properly wear the uniform, career planning, he does leadership, and military drill, things like that. 2s and 3s, they get more into the leadership. The cadets start doing leadership within the unit, so they're cadet-led leaders. And then we get into naval sciences and military law and things like that. Naval Science 4, which Chief teaches again, that's where the cadets are leading other cadets. So they're leaders within the program. All right, next slide.
All right, so good and bad. We've already covered some of this. We've got an increase in enrollment. New resources here, Chief, is FAA 107 qualified for drone operation. We have drones in the afternoon. We also have a marksmanship program. I have 5 students right now who are participating in that. And then down at the bottom, sorry, I can't read that. We've taken some extra, I'm not wearing my glasses. We've taken some extra trips this year. Last year, trip money was very scarce. We've gotten a little bit better this year, so we've taken a couple of extra trips. As far as the bag goes, there was a gap with a certified naval instructor. There was a substitute last year, but the substitute doesn't have access to the naval programs or the Navy money that certified instructors do. So those gaps caused a significant drop in the program. I'll be blunt. I've heard from no less than 327 people how great the program was back when Master Guns and I can't remember his name, but yep, when they were here. We're not going to return to that overnight. Okay? It's just not going to happen. And I will argue that on the Navy side till I'm blue in the face. But basically, that gap is what we're trying to overcome now. Last year, we just talked about that. Extracurricular activities is not where we'd like it to be. So afternoons, we do drill, we do marksmanship, we do drones. We also have orienteering, which is like we give cadets a map and a compass, and they go out into the woods and find different points It's basically land navigation. And there's also a brain brawl, and there's a couple other teams that are on the horizon. Right now, marksmanship and drones are our two big ones, and we have about a maybe 5 to 7% participation rate right now. We'd like to boost that up, but the afternoon stuff is completely separate from the school day stuff. You don't get extra points for showing up in the afternoon. You just get extra experience and stuff like that. So, Chief, you got the last of it.
All right, so last slide, so how do we accomplish our mission? So again, just to highlight some of the things, classroom instruction, that's a big part. So the way we set our classes up, Monday and Tuesdays, we do instruction. Wednesday, if the kids have us, then we do uniform inspection and drill. And then Thursday, Friday are PT days. So PT is one of the requirements that the Navy puts forth that we have to do. Same with the uniform. The kids have to wear the uniform at least one time a week. So we do uniform inspections, community service. We're still, quite frankly, we're still working on getting more community service for the cadets. Chief already talked about the extracurricular teams. Some of the orientation visits that we've already done this year, we've taken the kids to the U.S. Naval Academy. We went to we did a tour, we did a football game. The kids that went loved it. We've gone to the NAS Oceana. We went to the air show. Took about, 20 kids down to that. We did the D-Day Memorial. Some of the future trips we're looking at this spring, taking the kids up to DC, going through the Navy Yard, maybe visiting Arlington and some of the monuments up there. Just give them some perspectives of the monuments. And then end of year, we'd like to do a formal military ball this year that teaches the kids basically how to act formally in a setting outside of, say, like the prom or homecoming or something like that. It's more formal. There's guests, there's a award ceremony. So there's the ceremony part, and then there's we let the kids have a little fun too. So there's a dance that follows, but it's a more formal setting. So those are pretty much some of the highlights. I think that was the last slide. The last slide just says questions. We have two cadets with us this evening. We have Cadet Moore and Cadet Griffiths. Cadet Moore is our XO. Cadet Griffith is our command senior chief. So she's our senior enlisted. Any questions? That concludes. Yes, sir.
If any of your cadets go on to join the Navy after graduation from high school, do they get any rank considerations?
So they do. One of the benefits, there's plenty of benefits, which we just didn't have time to highlight. But, so if a cadet goes through the program 2 years for the Navy, they go in as a E2. If they do 3 years, they go in as an E3. So that's substantial going against their peers. They're going in as an E3, which is a substantial amount of pay as well. So those are the benefits. There's a ton of benefits for college, for kids that are not really meeting academic standards. There's a program which is called the MPP. It's a preparatory program where they go to school for a year. They get the math and the English that they might be lacking in, and from there, if they pass that, they get an automatic bid into ROTC scholarship. So there's a lot of benefits. Those are just a few.
Thank you.
I would just like to say thank you. I think this is vitally important.
Me too, yeah.
For our community, for our schools, for recognizing an appreciation of our servicemen and women. So thank you.
I'd like to reiterate that as well. Yeah, I came through the ROTC program under Commander Rawls and Master Gundy and Lieutenant Commander Tayon in '94, the second year of the program. And would you say I'm old? I believe you're older than me, sir. But those are some of the best times. And I think y'all, when y'all look back on it, it'll be some of the best times. I mean, like you said, it's not a recruitment tool, but it teaches life skills. And so I appreciate y'all dedication, and it's not, because I know it's not easy, but I appreciate y'all. But those were some of the best times I had coming through the program with Commander Rose, and Lieutenant Commander Tayon, and Master Gunner. Great times.
I just want to add for y'all, Senior Chief Perrin and Chief Lynn, they have done a fabulous job of trying to rebuild our program. They're constantly revamping and trying to work things. We've had conversations about what their future of their program looks like, and so we do fully support their program and those initiatives for our students, and making sure that we have a viable program. Thank you to them.
If you would be so kind as to ensure that we understand what your financial requirements are.
Okay, so for the most part, the curriculum is paid for through the Navy. It's the program is funded through Title X money. So our salaries are through Title X. Half of our salary is paid from the Navy, Title X, and then the school provides the other half. As far as the trips and things like that go, some years we have orientation money, some years we don't. It's just what Congress allocates.
The reason that I ask is we're getting close to the budget season. And if we know, then we have an opportunity to try to work with it, as opposed to not knowing and guessing, so that if we have good information, then that's.
If you don't mind, I'd like to rain check that. I want to check and make sure what we are and are not allowed to accept, because I don't want anybody to get in trouble. I don't want.
There are some restrictions.
I don't want anybody else to get in trouble either.
We don't encourage getting in trouble either.
So most of the units that I've dealt with, Senior Chief and I both have had experience in other units. They do fundraisers, and that fundraising, the money that comes from fundraising is what they use for the orientation trips. Because like Senior Chief said, basically what happens is you take the trip and pay for it, and the Navy reimburses you if there's money. If there's not money, you eat the trip. If there is money, congratulations, you get paid back. But the cadets are going to start doing some fundraisers this year. So it's time. That's part of we need to get back to where everybody else is, where we need to be. So,
I'll address the cadets. If you have a fundraiser, see me. I have money. I will give you some.
Let us know. We're glad to help.
As far as the uniforms, curriculum, books, everything, flags, the equipment we need on the day-to-day is provided by the Navy.
Correct.
I spent 3 years in the service, so I know what it's like. A long before he was born.
Just a few years ago.
So, if you have fundraisers, see us.
Yes, indeed.
We're here to help.
We'll be glad to help.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for this evening.
Yes, indeed.
And forgive me the Army jokes.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
No worries, sir.
Thank you.
Next, delegations from the public. I'd just like to remind everyone that the board listens. We do not normally respond. If there are actionable items, we take that into consideration. This evening, we have Mr. Cruz first.
Good afternoon, members of the board, and Dr. Martin. Getting my good side, Billy. I know all of you who know me, but for the public record and the audience who may be unfamiliar with me, my name is Thomas Cruz, and I'm the chairman of the Nottoway County Democratic Committee. As all of you know, except perhaps board member Michelle Duncan, who participated by phone, I was at your work session where I could not speak formally. I'm here tonight to make my voice heard regarding the property at Ingleside in Burkeville. I want to request that the board surplus the building back to the county, and I want to discuss the reasons why I believe that this is in the best interest of both the board and the county. I also want to address some comments that were made at the work session by some members of the board. Mr. Abbott, at the work session, used the word leverage to describe the school board's position regarding the property at Ingleside. And while I strongly disagree with that position, I do believe he was voicing the sentiments shared by what I believe is the majority of the board. I believe that it is a deeply misguided sentiment because the board does not possess the leverage that it thinks. Even if this board had been allowed to sell the Ingleside property, do you believe that the Board of Supervisors, knowing the political circumstances they face in this moment, would have given the board the funds from that sale? I ask you to search your heart, your mind, and your spirit to answer that question because I don't believe, given the particular political circumstances facing the Board of Supervisors at this time, that most of that money, if any at all, would have been made its way back to the school board budget. However, even if you saw every penny, it still would not cover the costs the school is facing. I'm not here tonight to tell you that you're wrong about the challenges facing the school system. I believe that those challenges are real, and I want to stand in solidarity with you over them. We are not on opposing sides on that matter. And I want to be an ally in the future in helping advocate for the needs of the Nottoway County Public Schools. I also believe that the board needs to speak more loudly about its needs, not just to the Board of Supervisors, but to the public, because most of the public does not know the challenges that the school system is facing. That being said, you do not have the leverage in this situation. Your leverage is entirely with the public, and you're going to lose the public if you take actions as stewards of a public property that harms the very public that voted you into office. 400 families, not individuals, families, many of whom who have children in this school system depend on Feedmore, which operates out of the property at Ingleside. Does any member of this board believe that the children going hungry is going to be good for the school system? The property at Ingleside is also the sole polling location for District 1, which is Mr. Outlaw's district, and the second highest Republican voting district in the county. If this property is closed down, where are those folks going to vote? Are we going to reopen the polling precinct at Burkeville Fire Department and have everyone in District 1 vote there? What about early voting for the folks at that end of the county? Are they going to have to drive all the way to Blackstone to vote early? Of course, the county itself has use for the property because they're doing major renovations over there at the courthouse complex. So to the best of my knowledge, the county would like to have this building, have this property, setting aside, of course, the fact that the county has also been using the building for some time as the general registrar's office. I am, of course, aware that the building needs considerable renovations and repairs, but that's not this board's problem. I'm asking members of the board to consider what is in the best interest of the folks of Nottoway County and this board. Is being at war with the Board of Supervisors in your best interest? Is shutting down this building, which is going to result in the closing of District 1 polling precinct and effectively shutting the doors to Feedmore for 400 families in the best interest of the county? I ask this board to be good stewards of the public property at Ingleside, surplus the building back to the county, and I want to thank each of you for the time.
Thank you very much. Clark.
Good evening. I'm speaking today because of my concern about the issue going on at Burkeville School. I'm very concerned. And after attending your work session, I came more concerned. I'm going to start my speech off a little bit with Matthew 16, since we got a lot of Christians, supposed to be Christian at the board. It's tell you plain and simple, don't go for the wolf in sheep clothes. And what it don't say, don't become the wolf yourself. Then I'm going to go to James 4:17. I'm going to read this exactly. So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do so, for him is a sin. And I'm going to close up with Proverbs. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but the wise person accepts advice. And the point of me saying all this, I really think, and I'm going to talk frank. It's a lot more. Some of you are caught up in something that you have no part of it, including you, Miss Green. It's a personal thing going on with the school board, too political. I'm not going to go into detail. Anyone want to ask me, I would talk private. Last time I went in detail, Mr. Outlaw called me a liar. Now, it's Mr. Outlaw's reputation against my reputation. So y'all decide whose reputation is truthful. My thing is this. I'm glad the kids are gone, because when I saw them walking in, I was afraid. What are they gonna hear? At y'all school board, y'all session, I didn't hear the word kids but one time when one of you all said something about the floor building falling down on them. Even when we were leaving out the building, Mr. Abbott, you took it on yourself to holler. You're gonna get out January the 15th. What was that for? What was that for? Is it personal? It's about the people. That's our building. You're not real estate agent. You know what? When the board of supervisors made that decision not to sell the building, Mr. Abbott, no disrespect, you supposed to stood up, said, if you don't want to sell it, give us the money. Case closed. Does that make sense? If they don't want you to sell it, ask them for the money. But what are we going to get accomplished? Some of the language I heard, not bad language, because Charles, I was shocked with you, brother. That's not the Charles I know what I saw at that board meeting, okay? You're a better man than that, brother, okay? I love you. You're better than that. Don't let other people influence y'all to be something you are not. To some people up on this board, that's all they got. You got family, you got people that love you. You don't need that hate. Don't let that hate get up in you, man. Please don't do that. There was so much hate in that building, it was sad. It was sad. Don't let people, it's too political up here. I'm not gonna go that way, but I'm not gonna do political. Last time I was here, Mr. Outlaw called me a liar. And no disrespect, I ain't calling the name. Some of you don't even qualify to be on the school board. Because you're not role model. You leaders, y'all leaders. This young lady is a leader. Y'all supposed to influence a lady. Did you see the video on Facebook of Mr. Outlaw? Honestly, did you? Young lady, did you?
Don't address her.
Don't ask her
Ask
that.
her, okay?
Don't do that.
Sir, you're addressing the board, not...
Her that. Don't
Ain't you on the board?
No.
No,
Oh, I'm
she's a
so
student
sorry.
liaison. That's okay.
Did you see the video?
Yes, sir, I did.
Were you impressed?
I will...
Yes or no? Thank you. Were you impressed? Nobody impressed. Is it going to be addressed? Or was it his personal opinion, Mr. Abbott? The point I'm trying to make is you all are at a higher standard than the regular citizen. Am I right? What he do, or you do, you do, you do, you do, the whole board get the recognition for it. More important than the kids' welfare is your reputation. Y'all, we can't have stuff like that. It's not good for us. And Mr. Outlaw, me and you got a lot, me and you think a lot in common. A lot of things I agree with. I don't think kids or boys should go in a girl's bathroom. I mean, you're not a bad person. I'm quite sure you're not. And I'm not trying to be mean or disrespectful. But some of the language you all had at that meeting I was at, how you gonna get money from your daddy if you make your daddy mad at you? I promise you, I talked to a couple of the supervisors. I think that y'all you need to lower the temperature and work with them. I'm done. I mean, but thank you for having me. And like I told you, Ms. Martin, I really am sorry about your father. Everybody talked bad about Frank. He was a good guy, though. All right with me. Okay, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Tucker.
After that, I don't think I have too much more to say, but thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm just going to disregard this paper, and I'm sorry, young lady, for you to be pulled into that. I am here on the issue of the Ingleside property, 507 Ingleside, known as the Burkeville Elementary School. I, for one, and hope that I am speaking audience, and in my opinion, that you can't get sued for, because everybody has one. So what I'm saying today tonight is my opinion. There is no need to close that school down. In my opinion, I think it's a personal vendetta against members of the school board. And it has been since Mr. Reynolds went into that building. That man's resume was so impressive. 3 or 4 of you all could have combined yours, and it wouldn't have been as impressive as his. He's qualified, he's been a gentleman, and he's done a good job. And that's what it's all about. Now, I'm basing this on my opinion when they announced in the work session of the school board that the Board of Supervisors said that you couldn't close, you couldn't sell it. The first thing out of Mr. Abbott's mouth was, we still want them. Them who? Out of there by the 15th. Now, you might want the registrar's office out of there, but the feed more is collateral damage. That's all it is. That place services 400 families, not people, in need of food and assistance. Have you ever been in a classroom and you looked out at your students and you knew 3 or 5 of them didn't eat anything because there was nothing there to eat? Have you ever walked up to that child and slid $1 in their pocket and said, eat lunch today? I have. Some of you in here might be recipients. And if you look around, I think I taught half of you in here and up here. Don't get caught up in the hype. This is a personal vendetta, politics, which has no place on the school board. You are here for the kids, and if you're concerned about the kids, you will work to make sure that the kids are fed and ready to learn when they come to school. Now, if the board said that you couldn't sell the building, what's the purpose of setting it down? Are you going to just let it sit there and go to waste, or are you going to maintain it, pay the maintenance? If it's a building that can be used, why don't you use it? Source it to the Board of Supervisors. Now, as far as needing money, did you give them a budget? Dr. Martin lists all these things that had to be done. Now, they didn't just crop up. They've been needing to be done since 3, 4, 5 years ago. So when you did your budget, why didn't you put it in there? So don't come making up something now that you need the money. The board does not know what you want the money for. So if you had put it in the budget, that these are the things that you wanted done, maybe you would have gotten a little bit more money. And my 2 guys, don't ever take the fall for nobody else's thoughts. If you don't start thinking on your own, the sheriff's gonna have to pull me out because I'm gonna come up there and get you.
Always think on my own.
Think on your own.
That's one thing you gotta worry about.
Okay, I better not.
You'll be better than that.
And I really do think you're trying. Don't be pulled in the hype of others. And I am adamant, and in my opinion, this is all political. If it was just about them saying we can't sell it, why would you even mention it? I'd be out there by January 15th anyway. If you can't sell it, let them stay in there until you find what you're going to do with it. I got a shed out behind my house. If you want that to sell, you can do that, but let the Burkeville Elementary say that. So it can house feed more. I'm more concerned about that. That lady got so many big freezers that she can't even find another place to put them in to keep her food. And she's been looking. We've been trying to help her find a place to go. There is no place to go. So when you go to bed at night and think you deprived 400 families of food by displacing them, sleep well. I pray for you.
Page.
Thank you for letting me talk. I'm here not just as a parent with children in your schools, but as the citizen directly involved in the recent, deeply unsettling incident with one of your board members, Mr. Bill Outlaw. The events that took place on my property have gone far beyond simple political disagreement about a school board building sale. They speak directly to a severe breach of professional conduct and a disregard for the safety and sanctity of the citizen's home. Regardless of who the citizen is, what titles they hold, how outspoken they are, or how many hats they wear, school officials should not show up at their home the day after speaking against a school board initiative. I wish to draw your attention to the very standards that each and every one of you publicly agreed in this room to follow. The Virginia School Board Association Code of Conduct. The actions I experienced personally appear to violate several key ethical clauses that are meant to protect both the integrity of this board and the citizens you serve. Rules that I believe that may be violated include, number one, upholding and enforcing all laws, state regulations, and court orders. The conduct of my property was not just inappropriate, it resulted in a formal trespassing charge being filed with law enforcement. Not to mention other charges that could have or may still be filed, like harassment, disorderly conduct, and the big one, violation of my constitutional rights under the color of law under the First Amendment. Intimidation by an elected official against a citizen for exercising their rights to free speech on a matter of public concern violates the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, the Virginia Constitution, and the Civil Rights Act of 1871 and 42 U.S.C. 1983. The second rule I believe violated, encouraging open two-way communication and respect for the public. You guys agreed to that. There is no respectful two-way communication when an official comes on your property uninvited, places a political sign in your yard without permission, and yells at you about school board business. That is harassment and intimidation, plain and simple. Refraining, number three, the third rule, refraining from using the board position for personal or partisan gain and avoiding the appearance of impropriety. Behavior in my yard was an abuse of the, I'm sorry, I've lost my place here. It was abuse of the stature that comes with being an elected official. It created a clear appearance of impropriety by attempting to use that position to intimidate a private citizen over a public land transaction. And rule number 4, remembering that an individual board member has no legal authority outside this board meeting. Mr. Outlaw was no doubt acting as an individual on my property, but his title as a board member hung heavy over the interaction, especially when he started yelling about school board business from the night before. He had no authority to be there or behave in that manner. And finally, on this topic, if any of you think it's okay for your colleague to come to a parent's home uninvited, yell at them in front of their children, and call them names in front of their children, who, by the way, attend your schools, curse the Lord in front of my children while doing it, then why did you even adopt the VSBA Code of Conduct as your own in the first place, if you believe that's okay? I'm wondering if it was just a formality. Remember, this was done the day after I spoke in opposition to a school board initiative to sell the Burkeville School. The Burkeville School was mentioned. Also, I was told that I was physically irresponsible because I'm a renter. How many people in your school is a renter? Speaking of the Burkeville Elementary School, it's not a pawn in a chess match or leverage, as you call it. You just can't afford the building. Surplus and it makes sense. And you can do it tonight and take the burden off your books. Stop saying the lights will be cut off January 15th, because we all know in Virginia, a landlord cannot cut off or change locks or turn the power off without an eviction taking place, regardless of how much notice you provided. And lastly, can you even evict the county? You know, my research says no, so what leverage do you actually have? I hope you guys will address this matter with your board members. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Sarah Allen?
Thank you, Board, for allowing me to speak tonight. I agree with a lot of other speakers. This is purely political, and it's been going on for 5 years. Sonny Abbott and Bill Outlaw, they have a problem with the electoral board. This has been going on so long that this is not even my opinion. I bought receipts. So, one thing, Sonny Abbott wants the electoral board out of here because he couldn't finish his term because he got in an argument, and he went out in the parking lot and he quit. He also resigned from being the officer of election because in open session, he had taken election tape that comes out the voting machine. He took it home with him, and he pulled it out during open session. So I'm allowed to legally talk about this. But he thought we were going to...
Chairman, may I say something?
No.
Sir, secondly, me and Bill Outlaw have had beef for a while, to the point that he has come to the electoral board meetings and have been so out of order that I had to call the police on him. That has been documented as well. So when people say that this is political, I believe them. Because why I left before the last meeting that y'all had at the Nottoway School Board, when he said that you still have to be out by January 15th, I didn't hear that because I had left. But I was at the Board of Supervisors meeting when the Board of Supervisors decided that y'all couldn't sell, and he said that you still got to be out by the 15th on my way out. Secondly, this man started this process without you guys, okay? He started it without you. And then he brought you in later. And that's why I asked you the last time I stood right here, what was the real reason behind this? And this man has a history of being dishonest. What he wants is the electoral board out, and what he would really, really, really like is power. And one thing I can tell you, because I have it right here, and his signature is on it, because he wrote the State Board of Elections on me. Why? Because I wouldn't tell him where I was working, where I was employed. So this man wrote the State Board of Elections, Chris Piper, his signature is on it, and y'all can keep this, because, let me see. Because his signature is on it. He sent it to the State Board of Elections because he wanted me removed off the board because he was trying to speculate where I worked. Because at the time, he got a whole committee together to figure out where I worked so they can harass me. And if to say it is a lie, I have witnesses that were actually on the committee in this room right now. The second thing he did, he told a lie and wrote it to Judge Seller about an incident that occurred on Election Day. And he said what I did, and he said the police were called. The police didn't even make a record, a real record of what happened. And then he signed it and sent it to Judge Seller. But the thing about it is, Mr. Abbott wasn't even there. This man has a history of making things up to go against this, to go along with this agenda. And that's why I'm telling you, when this man decided that he wanted to sit on the school or sell the school, he didn't do it with the children in mind. He did it with his own political agenda. And I brought receipts because I don't like people talking trash about me and then not letting me know. Because when you like when they write letters to people and they didn't know that the clerk of the court was going to send me a copy of the letters, I'm going to say it to your face. Just like I want you to say it to these children's faces when they have to go to school hungry, or when their parents can't eat, or when the kids can't eat. These are your kids. Like, I got kids in public school system. I can't afford to put my kids in private school system and then come to a public school board meeting and talk about I don't care if these kids eat or not. Because that's essentially what you're saying. So when you're following somebody, like a lot of y'all are, you make sure they have the right meaning or the right motive behind what they're doing. Because at the end of the day, your vote is going on public record, and the citizens will see everything. It's documented, okay? And I know that I done made some people mad, but guess what? Keep living, you're gonna make people mad too. Y'all have a good day.
I need a motion to approve the consent agenda, items A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and J. So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion that we move items H and I to closed session as they deal with personnel issues.
Discipline, not personnel.
Can't be discussed in open session.
We would have to, let me modify the motion then for the consent agenda, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and J, eliminating H and I. We would have to do a separate motion to modify the agenda to move it to closed session. So moved. Is there a second?
Yeah, the closed session is lying better.
It's the pleasure of the board.
I apologize, I was talking with Dr. Martin. Could you please repeat that, Chairman?
Basically, the consent agenda, except for letters H and I, the student discipline issues.
I motion that.
No, it's already been motioned. We
Yeah,
need a second.
Looking for a second.
I apologize. I second that motion.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I will need a motion to amend the agenda to move consent agendas H and I, which are student discipline issues, to closed session.
So moved.
Wait a minute. I'm confused now.
Myself.
Y'all done got me all confused.
What are we doing now? What are we doing? Because we got it all mixed up.
So there's a discipline, there is H and I, two student discipline items, and Mr. Outlaw is requesting to move it to closed session, move it out of the consent agenda and move it into the closed session.
So it can be discussed. Because we're not allowed to discuss
That motion has been approved.
student discipline issues in public. So I will ask again, is there a motion to move consent agenda items H and I, which are the student discipline issues, to closed session? Is there a second? Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Heard enough ayes. Action items, approval of travel for the superintendent, Dr. Martin.
Yes, sir. Members of the board, I am requesting approval this evening to attend the VASBO Winter Conference in Richmond, January 5th and 6th, and also to attend the Region 8 Superintendent's meeting scheduled for January 21st.
I have a motion to approval of Dr. Martin attending those two activities. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Approval of the updated division literacy plan, Dr. Martin.
Before you this evening, you have the updated division literacy plan. The plan was reviewed by the Department of Education with minimal feedback for corrections. They did ask that we clarify some testing schedules for screening assessments and denote to several requested individuals within the plan, which has been done. This plan does require biennial board review and approval, and an updated link has to be posted on the website once it is approved. So I'm requesting permission to approve the updated literacy plan this evening.
I hope everyone's had an opportunity to review that. I'll need a motion to approve the division's literacy plan.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. There are no non-action items at this time. Information items, Dr. Martin, instruction and professional learning updates.
So to give you a couple of highlights this evening, you were able to see our elementary students in action earlier with some of the literacy that they've been doing, but it's been busy and we're continuously working to improve our instructional outcomes. Our focuses so far this year have been on the use of high-quality instructional materials across the division. We have refined implementation of HMH into reading at the K through 5 level. We have done very well with implementation of HMH into literature at the secondary level. The teachers really like the program, have embraced it, and are implementing it and are seeing good things in the classroom. We're continuously implementing Zern K through 8, and we even use it at the high school in a couple of our algebra classes because they have some skills in there that they can work on. And then implementation of Lexia at all levels across the division. We continuously work on alignment of our Tier 1 instructional practices. We are much better aligned than where we were, but we're continuously working on that, and we're moving into Tier 2 interventions to really tailor and support needs for individual students. We are continuously using evidence-based interventions in math and reading instruction, and a big focus of ours is continuous progress monitoring and follow-through with weekly PLCs and data review. So one of the things that I really wanted to note in the most recent VALS data that came out that did a comparison of student performance from last year at this time to performance this year at this time, 27% of the students improved performance on the VALS screener from this same point last year. So when I say that, 26% of students were in the low risk compared to only 16%. So we have 3 bands that we look at with VALS. We have a high, a medium, and a low. So high being the greatest need. So we have increased the number of students that are in our low risk now from last year at this time to this year, which also tells us that our reading implementation and strategies are working with our students because we are seeing gains. Our high risk decreased from 47% of our students in the fall of last year to 37% of our students this year. So a lot more of our students are moving into that moderate range, and then our goal is to get them into the low risk range. So those strategies that have been putting in place, what you saw earlier with structured literacy, that's going on across the division. They're working with our kids. We're seeing significant improvements thus far with just 1 year of implementation. Typically, it takes multiple years to see your huge gains, but we're moving the needle in the right direction, which is great. This data shows the work our teachers and our students are doing across the division. It doesn't happen without their dedication to the process, their willingness to accept feedback. There's increased alignment, as I shared, and teachers are teaching. They are up, they are moving, they are teaching, students are engaged. It's funny, Mr. Wilson and I had a conversation the other day. The bells, we were having problems with resetting the bells when the time changed, where we had to end up turning the clocks off altogether in the high school. And he looked at me and said, let's not turn the clocks back on. He said, because nobody looks at the time in the classroom now. And before you would have this set, as we all do, oh, we're looking at the clock, what time is it? Teachers are teaching from beginning of the class period to the end, and students aren't looking to get up. Oh, I got 5 minutes left in class because they don't know what time it is. And you can't have your cell phone out anyway, so there's nothing to tell you what the time is. But they've seen the impact of some of those practices in the classroom, so really focused on teaching and learning. Just a couple of highlights on professional learning. We are continuously tailoring our PD throughout the division. We had 2 division PD days where staff come together since the beginning of the year on a variety of topics, and our learning has included professional learning for teachers and school leaders, coaching and support for building administrators, focusing on data to improve practices. We have our Nottoway Lead group, which is a leadership development program. We have 10 people in that, and that's going very well with them. All of our instructional staff have participated in PTSI training on bullying. So So every single staff member at our last PD day had to participate if they had not already attended one of the sessions in the bullying training. I cannot speak highly enough about Tina Norris and the job that she has done with our staff in training on bullying and cyberbullying and what it looks like and how do we handle and deal with things. And she did a presentation for the community one evening as well to help explain those topics. So every time she comes out, you learn something new each time and how to combat things and how to work with things. All of our SPED teachers have participated in IEP goal writing training. There's been multiple focuses on our students with disabilities and our SPED teachers and ensuring we have the right supports going on in the classroom. Training to support diverse learners in the classroom to meet their needs. Of course, I've highlighted the reading training at multiple levels. We've provided collaboration between teachers and grade levels for them to be able to come together and have conversations about what works, what's not working, what do we need to modify, where do we need to look at things that are going on. Classroom management training, Mastery Connect and Canvas training, using AI in the classroom, interactive note-taking, professional learning on the new Spanish textbooks for our Spanish teachers. They were excited when they got their textbooks and to have a dedicated training just for them as to what they need to do. New and beginning teacher program supports, and then of course we always have our principal and AP monthly professional learning meetings where they get some tailored training just for them and what they need. Principals select who attends those trainings based on specific criteria and what their areas of focus is. So who really needs it, that's who's coming to the trainings that we have. Some of the things that we have coming up, of course, we adopted the new math-based textbook for 6 through 12. So the teachers were very eager to get those in their hands and start exploring with them and using them in the classroom. And so they will have actual training on math and how to use those and implement them. That's coming up in December. We also have some focus sessions on elementary and secondary training, classroom management, and using Zern to tailor learning for students with disabilities. How do we use our programs to make sure that we're meeting the needs of all learners in the classroom? So I will say that schools are working collaboratively to increase the rigor and student success. And just before I came in, I was going to highlight to you about the Virginia Board of Education where they had approved the new cut scores with the increased rigor, but then everything that I had put together kind of got thrown out the window in one sense regarding the performance and the implementation time frame. So the proficient and advanced scores have moved up. We're moving from a 400 cut score on an assessment to between a 440 and a 448, somewhere in there. So that increased rigor, that increased performance. However, what I will add that changed today was the board did approve a 4-year phased-in model with a temporary approaching performance level that is removed at the conclusion of the 28-29 year. This year is actually a preparation year, and the proficient cut score will stay at 400 for the ones that are currently taking it. At the start of the 26-27 school year, the new cut scores will be implemented alongside temporary approaching performance levels. So we have an idea of where we are and where we need to work to push our students further. The temporary approaching performance level shall count as a pass on all reading and math assessments, which includes those end-of-course assessments until we start with full implementation. Students that are retaking an SOL must meet the passing score and the effect at the time they originally took the test, which is good. So if I didn't pass it on the first go, but I originally took Algebra 1, I have to meet the score of whatever the time was when I took the first test, which is a good thing because we weren't sure what that was gonna look like. Students that have already demonstrated proficiency on a high school end-of-course assessment or earned their verified credit in middle school or high school will not be required to retake an assessment. There was some up in the air about where they're gonna have to retake this assessment again. And of course, they're gonna put out new student reports in the school, spring of 26 for parents and the school division so they kind of know what these expectations are and where we're going with it. So that's kind of where it is. Of course, it's ever changing and you put down one thing and you go to something else. So I just wanted to give you an update this evening on a couple of those things.
Thank you. ANTC report, Mr. Outlaw.
Yes. Under the leadership of Principal Sledzinski, ANTC continues to shine. They had salon after school yesterday. And is that going to be a weekly thing on Wednesdays?
It's the second Tuesday of every month.
Say again?
The second Tuesday of every month.
Second Tuesday of every month. And at least one joint board member showed up and had their hair done. I don't know if that was a male or a female, but at least. So let's get out there and support these kids. I mean, they're doing a fantastic job. The culinary class will be hosting a Christmas dinner. They will cater it, and it will be done as though they were catering clients. And this will be for the staff at ANTC. So that's a practical application of what they're doing, and that's really heartwarming. All teachers from ANTC attended the electric fair at Nottoway County. The trunk or treat, I know at least Ms. Ledzinski was there and passed out candy on behalf of ANTC. And with all of this said, I think, they're doing a great job. New classes, and it's a shame that we don't get coverage from the local news media about what all is being done at ANTC.
Thank you, Mr. Outlaw. The Governor's School, Ms. Duncan?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So the Governor's School recently had a meeting. There is new branding. So there is now a mascot for the GSSV, Griffins. The next round of voting will be how the Griffin will look and the school colors. So it's exciting. They've been busy creating inventions, and they actually created a skit to sell that invention. And they did it like a Shark Tank style, trying to sell their invention. There has been various outings, including Virginia Fine Arts Museum, Edgar Allan Poe Museum. They will be touring DC in April for their senior trip. There are exams coming up the second and third week of December. And currently they are sending out parent emails, and the next parent advisory committee is Tuesday, November 18th at 5:30 via Zoom.
The SEAC report, Ms. Duncan?
Yes, sir. So recently, we did have, last week, I think, yes. Last week, we had a SEAC meeting. I am encouraged by it. This week, okay. Weeks running together. The review in this meeting was effective communication, a variety of ways to communicate. I am excited because we have a chairperson in place now. Could be incorrect, but I haven't been involved in the SEAC prior to my time on the board, and I believe this is the first time that we have had a chairperson other than a school board central office member. So I am excited about that. I applaud the work with Dr. Martin, with Dr. Gravely, with Dr. Lewis, and all others involved, Ms. Amanda Atkinson, Ms. Delphine Simmons-Folks, for the work on getting the information out about the SEAC. Again, I'm encouraged by it. The next meeting is February 10th at 4 p.m. virtually. If you're interested in attending, anybody can attend. To become a member, you need to have a child with an IEP in Nottoway County Public Schools, but anybody can attend. Contact the school board office, and someone can assist you with getting access to the meeting.
Thank you. The student liaison, Ms. Avery?
Good afternoon. So we have college trips coming up. We had SVCC for seniors and the VAP field trip today for seniors only. Coming up November 18th, we have the UVA field trip for seniors, and on November 20th, the Long Live field trip for juniors. On December 2nd, seniors and juniors will get to go to Christopher Newport University. College rep coming up on November 17th is the Bond-Sikoris College of Nursing rep, and that's for seniors. The band on December 9th, they will have their winter concert at 6:30 p.m. in the auditorium. And they're also having a bingo fundraiser in the Nottoway High School cafeteria. The doors open at 1 and the games start at 2 p.m. and it's $20 a ticket if purchased in advance and $25 a ticket if purchased at the door. And that's on November 16th. The Cater Cafe students, they will start hosting a harvest meal on Thursday, November 20th, and students will be shopping and preparing for these meals. The parents of these students are invited to attend the harvest meal with their child. And on Friday, November 7th, the Nottoway NJR OTC presented the colors during the Veterans Day ceremony at Richmond Veterans Medical Center. Testing for the 10th grade students will take place on December 3rd and December 4th. That's for the work keys. And fall SOL testing at Nottoway High School will begin on Tuesday, December the 9th. We have a principal advisory committee that Mr. Wilson has put together, and we are hosting a Polar Express movie for the elementary students. You can take one and pass it down. Sure. That's our flyer for it, and it's December 19th at 6 p.m. in the high school auditorium. Athletes, we have some great achievements going on right now, and Bradley Hamilton won state for cross country with his time of 15 minutes and 45 seconds, claiming the title of Virginia High School League Class II state champion. Golf ended not too long ago, and Colton Lewis got District Player of the Year, and he also got All-District. Carson Beck got All-District and All-Region, and Cameron McDaniel got All-District and All-Region. Our volleyball team won the first round of the regional tournament against Thomas Jefferson, and on the second round they fell short to Amelia in the second round of regionals. Grayson Skinner got first team All-District, Willow Austin got second team All-District, and Lorraine Wilson got first team All-District, and they'll be recognized next month at the school board meeting. The varsity football players, they play on November 14th at Armstrong at 7 p.m. for their first round of regionals. The Scholastic Bowl's last match of the regular season is December 1st, and then winter sport tryouts are beginning. The winter sports include boys and girls basketball, indoor track, and wrestling. And their picture day will be on December 1st. And that's all we have.
All right, very
Good.
That was thorough.
There was a lot.
Yes.
Thank you. Our superintendent's report, Dr. Martin?
Yes, sir. So just a couple of things to share with you this evening. First, I want to thank our substitutes that we have. They are dedicated to our school division, and we appreciate them picking up opportunities and ensuring that instruction continues even when other people have to be out. And that's, when I talk about substitutes, I talk about substitute custodians, bus drivers, teachers, across the board. We are cafeteria workers. We're very appreciative for them to step up and come into our buildings and help out. And we're always looking for more substitutes, so I encourage people to apply and have them on your list for the next board meeting. But the next thing is, I cannot praise our staff enough. And when I talk about our staff, I'm talking about all of our staff for their commitment to the school division. They are amazing and hardworking. I spend a lot of time in the building, and we have a lot of dedicated staff across the division, our drivers, just everywhere. Our principals and assistant principals have completed over 500 informal classroom observations from the beginning of the school year until now. That means they're in the classrooms a lot. They're out in their buildings a lot. The knowledge of their buildings and progress has been very evident in our quarterly progress meetings. So we're over halfway through our quarterly progress meetings where principals come in and have a discussion with us about what's going on in their building, what are their needs, what are our areas of focus. We talk about discipline, instruction, attendance, the school environment, budgeting, human resources, and the other supports. And it is very evident that they know their buildings, both the principals and assistant principals. They are good collaborative teams that are working together, and one can finish the other one's sentence in the meeting. So they know what's going on, which is great. The conversations in those meetings are just that. It's a conversation, and that's what we tell them when they come in. It's not an I gotcha, it's a conversation because we are in the work with them to make sure that our schools are improving and where we need to be going and what our focus needs to be. Maybe they don't think that when they come in, but that is what it is. We like to pick with them a little bit, but that is truly what it is. It's a conversation. And it is a collaborative effort, and it really talks about those supports. What else can we do? They leave the meeting with two final important important points that they're going to focus on. And one of those is that we ask all of them. So those of you that don't know, you can go ahead and prepare for yours when it comes up. But what does success look like when we come back to the table in January? So you know where you are now, but what would you tell us in January that success is going to look like from now until January? And then the other thing is for them to determine some key takeaways of areas of focus. So they have been very beneficial for them. They've walked away with some ideas and some supports, and we have ideas and supports as to what we need to go back and look at so that we can help them more. And then just finally, as we approach the upcoming break, I want to take a moment to share my deep appreciation for our entire Nottoway County Public Schools team. Each day they show up with dedication, they're resilient, and they have a commitment to doing what is best for our students and families. NCPS is a family that supports each other, lifts each other up, and works together to ensure that every child feels seen, valued, and capable of success in our schools. So it is my hope that each of them, our staff, our families, everyone finds time over break to rest, recharge, and enjoy the time that they have with family and friends. We are thankful for the work that they do each day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Matters of school board interest. Currently, there isn't a work schedule set for November or December. November 19th through the 21st is the BSBA annual convention in Williamsburg. And now for other. Mr. Rowe.
Nothing at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Wilson.
Not at this time.
Ms. Duncan.
Yes, thank you. It's going to be extremely brief. We all know that we've had a very rough month previously. I implore everybody to put the past behind us and move forward in a positive manner, putting the students first. I also want to thank everybody who has been involved and working for the students. I do see a difference. I see a difference in curriculum. I see a difference in enthusiasm. Nothing is ever 100%, but I see a difference. And if you have any issues or concerns, do not bottle them up. Go to your administration within the schools. If you feel like you're not being heard, take it up the chain. Your voice is very valuable, and I'm speaking to the public. Your voice is valuable, and it needs to be heard. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Outlaw?
Nothing at this time.
I have just one reminder, and that is for the board. And we need to take into consideration at some point in time what I will call the mid-year evaluation of the superintendent and how we're going to conduct that. We need to take that under advisement, determine how we're going to approach that. That's just a reminder, because this is November, and December, January, it would basically be midterm. May I have the closed meeting?
Mr. Chairman, I believe that we amended our agenda or have an open discussion on board member conduct.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have.
Yeah, we did at the beginning of the meeting.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Not sure how to.
I believe Ms. Duncan has something she wants to say about that.
Go ahead, Ms. Duncan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, let me preface this by saying everything that I am about to say is in no means an attempt to degrade, disrespect, or anything of the sort. trying to choose my words wisely and remain respectful. There's 4 concerns that has happened over the last 30 days that has me deeply concerned as functioning board members with integrity. We've had, some of it was brought up by public comment, some of it was not. And my purpose for speaking about this now is because I would like to feel the pulse of the rest of the board. I would like to know moving forward how we're going to adjust or pivot if the board feels necessary. We have one instance to where there was one board member speaking for all of the members without member approval. We have a school board member who accosted verbally a board of supervisor member. We have, of course, as everybody well knows, the trespassing, the intimidation, and we have lack of integrity at a board of supervisors meeting. I have no problem with spelling each and every one of those out. Mr. Abbott, when you replied to Mr. Coleman on the email that was addressed to the chairman and initialed Mr. Chairman, and the reply was that it is not a school board issue, it's a personnel issue, I feel like that should have been handled a little bit differently. That should have been, at the very minimum, said, my personal opinion is, rather than a blanket statement. The lack of integrity has to do with the shouting out over the crowd on recording for all members to see that regardless of the Board of Supervisors' decision, Mr. Abbott wanted to make it known that we still have power, that they still have to be out. That is not integrity. And our VSBA does say that we are to uphold the utmost integrity. How can we expect this of our students if we can't expect it of ourselves? The verbal accosting of a board supervisor member, it has been verified that Mr. Outlaw went to a member of the Board of Supervisors and told him that he has bleeped up. That is not integrity. At no point in time should we put ourselves above anybody else. We are representatives of this county, we are representatives of this school, and we need to call ourselves to a higher standard. And then, of course, we have the behavior of the trespassing and intimidation. And I want to hear the thoughts. I want to hear, I just need it on the table so we can understand and then move forward. With my children, if they do something and they misbehave, we have a conversation, and then we talk about how we're going to fix it. Ignoring the behavior does not fix the behavior. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I need you to explain a little more in detail some of the other innuendos that you provided.
Okay, which ones?
We'll start with the first one.
Forgive me, I don't know exactly. I didn't have an exact list that I had written out. It just.
One board member speaking for all the board members.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Charlotte. So, there was an email that was sent by Billy Colburn on October the 18th to Mr. Outlaw's school email that says, "Good morning, Mr. Chairman. I wanted to give you an opportunity to comment on an incident last night around 6 p.m. involving Mr. Outlaw in front of Chris Page's house. Mr. Outlaw appeared to place a Sears sign in Mr. Page's yard without permission or town right-of-way, which is also prohibited. There was quite an unpleasant exchange captured on video. And Mr. Outlaw, I've been told, has been charged with trespassing. Thank you and your attention to this matter. Billy Colburn, Courier Record. The reply was made by Mr. Abbott's school email that says, Mr. Colburn, please accept my apologies for the late reply, and it was done on October 22nd. I've limited web time. What you outline is between two individuals, has nothing to do with the school board. Coming from a school board email being addressed as Mr. Chairman, that makes it an official response from the school board.
No, it makes it my response. Doesn't make it an official response. I did not say I was speaking for the board.
Correct, but it also does not say.
Well, I'm answering your question. It was addressed to me. Now,
Was this done on the school board's email account?
Yes. Okay. Billy Colburn always addresses the chair. And as I see it, until something happens through the courts, at least my limited understanding is people are innocent until proven otherwise. So as far as I was concerned, it was between two individuals. It wasn't something I was going to adjudicate at that time because I didn't know all of the circumstance. And I was not about to get into a detailed discussion of anything with the editor of the newspaper. Now, if you find that objectionable, so be it.
Our governance norm and protocol says a single board member will not represent the board without the consent of the board, and board members making personal statements in any format, including speeches, articles, social media posts, should clearly state that these statements are in their opinion and not the position of the board.
So I apologize, I didn't put my opinion. That's certainly what it is.
Yes, sir, I understand that.
What? Apparently not, because you're bringing it up here.
Well, that was the purpose of this, is for clarification.
And yes, I did mention January 15th. Whose date is January 15th? Who made that decision?
Board.
So it wasn't Sonny Abbott's date, was it? Sonny Abbott didn't pick January 15th, 2016 as a date.
Are you speaking to the response at the Board of Supervisors meeting when it was yelled out over top of the cheers?
However it was yelled out, I don't yell at the Board of Supervisors.
No, sir, you don't. But it was yelled out over top of the cheers and banter, sir, and that is what I'm referring to. Not that you specifically specified the date, but the fact that your voice had to be heard over top of everybody else who was cheering, that we were denied the right to sell, not the fact that the particular date that was chosen.
If you may recall that when this board met with the Board of Supervisors, at least three of them, there was an understanding that they were going to give us permission to sell the building. It wasn't reduced to writing, it wasn't said out loud, but there was that impression. So when it went before, and we were asked to do two things: hold a public hearing and do a resolution. The board held a public hearing, did the resolution, provided all that information to the Board of Supervisors as requested, went before the Board of Supervisors, and they voted differently than what was discussed in our joint board meeting. I was, I guess, in a word, disappointed. But the January 15th, 2026 date's been brought up several times here tonight. It's not a Sonny Abbott date. If we would have selected a Sonny Abbott date, it would have happened months before.
June the 30th. Yes, so I respect that. It was more about the need to yell it over top of the cheering crowd and about the integrity that, The question is, was that called for?
Somebody could say it's a lack of integrity or not. I don't yell at the Board of Supervisors. I don't my voice carries. I'm pretty sure people in the back row can hear my voice, and I'm not on speaker. I have one of those voices.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
I have a question to whomever might have the answer. We don't discuss personnel issues concerning staff, students, anything like that in public. And I'm wondering, my question is, are any of those protections afforded to school board members? And as we've seen from the public, they have openly crucified much of what was said is not true. Some of it is true, but, and I don't believe we can infringe on their free speech to say what they want. I think it's in very poor taste, especially when we have comments that have absolutely nothing to do with any school board issue and cannot be, nobody's imagination could tie the two together. I think that's inappropriate. But again, you are allowed free speech. So, are school board members with the school board afforded any such privilege of having personnel issues discussed in closed session?
You want my opinion?
I don't know is there a legal foundation, or I don't have any idea.
I just got an opinion. Because we were voted in, we're not part of that staff right there.
I know.
We are voted in by these people right here. So in my view, I think it's okay because we're not
personnel.
We're not personnel though. That's just me. That's just an opinion. We're not personnel. We were voted. That's it.
I appreciate
your opinion. They can crucify us. There's nothing. What are we gonna do?
I hadn't thought of it in that light, and
I'm just saying. Yeah.
Let me ask this question, Ms. Duncan, do you think your 4 points have been answered?
I do believe that 2 of the 4 points have been answered, sir.
And may I dig up something from history real quick? Ms. Duncan accused me of taking kickbacks through the School Board Member Alliance, another organization that I belong to.
Yes, so I did make that question. I didn't make an accusation. I did make that question, which was within my rights. It's not, I want to be clear. I'm not in any form or reason trying to attack anyone. These are questions that have come to me by the citizens that they want answers for.
I'm just trying to resolve, I'm trying to help resolve the 4 points you made.
Yes, sir.
Point number 3.
The other 2 points that I have,
let me answer it this way. If one of them has anything to do with the court or legal obligation of one citizen against a board member, that's not going to be discussed here tonight.
yes, sir, I respect that no court proceedings should be discussed. That is a matter for the court. However, it is a matter for our board when it comes to one of our members bringing school board matters business onto a private citizen's public property.
Whenever that happens, when all of that is adjudicated, then we'll be able to take that up as a board.
Yes, sir, I respect that. And then the verbal accosting of a Board of Supervisor member by a school board member. It was that Mr. Outlaw, and it has been verified by multiple sources, that Mr. Outlaw went to, yes, Mr. Toth, Board of Supervisor member, that he did not vote to allow us permission to sell the school, and told him verbally, you have bleeped up F. And these things, I don't want to get into the legalities of it, but it speaks to our integrity. We are to uphold that. It speaks to everything that we are supposed to do numerous times in our code of conduct and our norms and protocols. It talks about that all of our actions should be to the benefit of the students. And my question is, the answer I'm looking for is, how are these actions beneficial to our students? And if it's not, let's fix it and move forward and put it to bed.
Can I ask a question? Why did you, did you do that, or why did you do it? I'm just asking the question. But this is about the second time I heard it.
And I'm not going to answer it.
Okay, I'm just asking.
There's been so much,
I don't know.
so many untruths here. I'm not saying that was true.
Everybody's a liar.
There have been so many untruths said here tonight.
And
I'm not going to.
Right. And I understand that, and I do understand that. But like I said, it was brought to me too, that it was said. And I have to agree, we have to maintain a certain conduct. So if you did it, then we need to fix it. But if you didn't do it, how would we know? We need to do something about it if that's the truth. That's all I'm saying.
What are you going to do about it?
I don't know, but we probably need to talk about it if you did that. That's the thing. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to get into that, but if the people are saying that, then something might be wrong. That's all I'm saying.
Are there any other issues?
No, sir, but I do want to thank the board for the opportunity to discuss this openly and collaboratively and respectfully. I truly am thankful for that we were able to have that discussion.
Well, I'll reserve comment till later. I need the balance for the closed meeting.
Oh, shoot, I just put it away. I apologize. One moment, please. Closed meeting resolution. Pursuant to Section 2.2-3711A of the Code of Virginia, I move that the board convene a closed meeting for the purpose of discussing the following specific matters. A1, the consideration of personnel for 15 appointments. 4 substitute teachers, 1 interim lead custodian, 1 custodian, 1 lead network administrator, 1 instructional assistant, Title I, 2 bus drivers, 1 substitute assistant track coach, 1 substitute football head coach, 1 EPI instructor elementary, 1 EPI instructor ESL, and 1 assistant girls basketball coach. B, informational, 3 resignations. C, 3 retirements, 1 business technology teacher, 1 EL teacher, and 1 food service worker. D, 1 salary adjustment, English learner, family and language access liaison to EL family and data liaison. F, 2 student matters, personnel matters would be 2 student matters, and that's it, so. Pursuant to Section 2. Okay, I apologize, thank you. Pursuant to Section 2.2-3711A, A3, the discussion of consideration for real property.
Heard the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.